Hello one and all. This will be the final video from our house in San Martin. So many memories. The apartment Hope and I lived in when we first got married had more memories. Who am I kidding? I know I'm going to get some heat for this one, but I'm sick and tired of the minorities taking over the country. This story's been in the national news because it's another attack on American patriotism. 4 boys were sent home at Live Oak High School for wearing the American flag on their shirts or representing the stars and stripe on their t-shirts on Cinco de Mayo. This is a joke, right? Mexicans are getting pissed because somebody's wearing the flag of the home country on their shirt. This is pathetic. Did you know that in Mexico that many people consider May 5th an ordinary day? The only people that truly care about Cinco de Mayo are Chevy's restaurants all around America and Madison Avenue beer companies who are hoping to cash in on that day, as well as St. Patrick's Day. I don't know why the students of Live Oak were protesting the shirt. Many minorities are bent because people are wearing the American shirts on a day that even the majority of the citizens in Mexico don't even care about. Get a life and remember what country you are in. If I wear my USA hockey jersey on July 1st, will Canadians care? Well, the Sharks have gone somewhere they haven't been in a long time. The Western Conference Finals. The Sharks took care of business over the past week, eliminating the Detroit Red Wings in 5 games. This will be their first appearance in the Final Four since 2004. Now, a little shout out to those blue-collar snobs known as Red Wing fans. These morons were at the Sharks Facebook page throughout the entire series, talking trash and calling the Sharks chokers. A few of the people are still running their mouths after the series. Some Wings fans have actually shown some class and given the Sharks credit, and a few Wings fans are joining forces with the Teal Town faithful simply because the Sharks will be taking on their bitter rival, the Chicago Blackhawks. Once the Wings were losing badly in the series, they started saying the refs had something to do with it. No, the refs were not out for the Wings. You just lost, plain and simple. So you imbeciles who are talking trash can take that octopus and stick it up your backside. Stop coming to the Sharks Facebook page and posting your juvenile drivel on it. The only thing that should be coming out of your fingertips are, you are better than us. Staying with the elimination of the Red Wings, why does ESPN hockey analyst Barry Melrose continue to draw a paycheck? Before the second round started, him and his other numbskull EJ Radick were just riding the Red Wings' jock. Radick even predicted the Wings would win the series in 5 games. This series just proves what I've been saying all season. Melrose does not know anything about hockey anymore, and ESPN is always painted this guy as some hockey genius because he's coached in 1 Stanley Cup final. He had Wayne Gretzky on his team in Los Angeles. He couldn't cut it with Tampa Bay, and he had a couple potent goal scorers in Martin St. Louis and Vincent Lecavalier. He was fired after 16 games. I'd rather him pass the torch to Matthew Barnaby than look at me through a camera lens and tell me how much he secretly loves Sidney Crosby. Sticking with the Stanley Cup playoffs, can somebody administer the Heimlich maneuver to the Boston Bruins with all the choking they've done in the past week? When they took a 3-0 series lead on the Philadelphia Flyers, they lost in overtime, lost bad in Game 5, and lost in Game 6. It's the first time since the 1975 New York Islanders have forced a Game 7 after being down in a 3-0 hole. While I wouldn't mind seeing a Bruins-Habs Classic Eastern Final, I wouldn't mind seeing history being made again. And the way Boston has no answer for the Flyers' onslaught, history might just repeat itself. I can keep defending how Boston can stop the bleeding until I'm blue in the face, but I can't. Michael Leighton has been solid taking over for the injured ex-Shark goalie Brian Boucher. The Flyers just might do the impossible, and the Bruins might literally choke to death. The Washington Capitals think the Boston Bruins are choking. I'm at the conclusion of this wonderful book that I'm reading. While it's written by an atheist, she seems to make a case for Christianity. Here are a few things I've learned while reading S.C. Cupp's book, Losing Our Religion, The Liberal Media's Attack on Christianity. Many of the newspaper and television news networks are biased, leaning to the left. That means that a strong majority of the metropolitan newspapers you read are liberally biased, and so is CNN. The liberal media is carrying a very large eraser. The pencil mark they are trying to erase? Christianity in the United States of America. Case in point, that holiday in December, which is nearly sanitized to fit their politically correct whim. It's only May, but I'll stand up for what I believe in. Just 7 more months until Christmas. Pardon my language for this one. Keith Olbermann is a fucking moron who needs to get back to the sports anchor desk where he belongs. Olbermann talking politics, it's like a 7-year-old telling me where babies come from. In fact, if we could obliterate MSNBC, we might be better off. Olbermann, Rachel Maddow, Chris Matthews, Bill Maher, Katie Couric, and the rest of these left-wing imbeciles Sound like a bunch of brainless jackals. To the liberal media, everybody is entitled to opinion. The same opinions as theirs will suffice. The green movement is a scam. It's there to fill the pockets of corporate swine and fulfill Al Gore's whim. Just remember that it takes more water and energy to create those tote bags that you bring to the grocery store than an ordinary plastic bag. But that fact doesn't faze the city of San Jose, which is about to initiate a ban on plastic shopping bags. Stop the hypocrisy and stop shoving this annoying green train down my throat. Remember, the planet is fine. The people are screwed. Also, research in England has proven that organic food is no better for you than regular food. You're just paying $2 more for an apple than a worm might be living in. Get a freaking clue. Why is it when Adam Lambert loses to a Christian like Chris Allen on American Idol, Perez Hilton has to open his mouth? He said the show was fixed. Wrong. The 2009 Miss America pageant was fixed because you didn't like the answer Carrie Prejean gave to your question considering your alternate lifestyle. Perez Hilton is a bloody hypocrite. He condemns a heterosexual Isaiah Washington for using the word faggot, but he calls will.i.am a faggot. Honestly, does anybody care what this loser says about Carrie Prejean? Instead of applauding her courage of answering a very challenging question with what she believes in, he called her a bitch and a cunt because she doesn't agree with his disgusting lifestyle. Chris Allen won American Idol because teenage girls dig him, and there are just one group of people who have a say in who wins Idol, not because he was going up against some Ziggy Stardust knockoff who happens to be gay. Get over yourself. The film The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, released in 2005, got mixed reviews from the liberal moviegoers because of its Christian overtones, and it was dubbed a Lord of the Rings knockoff. The author of The Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia were close friends, idiots. Meanwhile, the 2008 film The Golden Compass had a favorable reviews locked and loaded before the film was released. You remember that movie, the first in a trilogy of books that are basically anti-God and anti-Christ? You'll see me wearing granny panties before I read any of Philip Pullman's garbage fantasy books. When a Democratic politician cheats on their spouse and admits it, it's a mistake. When a Republican admits to cheating, they're lambasted in the liberal media as a hypocrite. Talk about a double standard. Oh, and by the way, Sam Adams, a liberal mayor from Portland, Oregon, admitted that he had not only had an affair, but a homosexual one. These jackass politicians get caught with their pants down, too. The problem is the liberal media doesn't care all that much. What's wrong with Christianity opening its doors for business? What's the problem with Christians going to business to share their gifts God blessed them with? I don't think liberals bash Christians for having businesses. I think the liberal media bashes Christians having businesses because they believe in God. Remember, the liberals are trying to do away with the whole God thing in the United States. And the final thing I didn't know, despite all the liberal hoopla, 80% of the United States are Christian. 80%! Yea, I say unto all the believers of Heavenly Father in this fair nation, we have the numbers. The liberals are trying really hard to eliminate all the values of this country, what this country is founded on. And they're winning. The Christmas season in December in the United States is in a coma and on life support. It's getting to the point where saying Merry Christmas to anybody is soon going to be a $50 fine. Freedom of religion is one of the foundations of this country, where people can believe how they want to believe. The liberals have labeled Christians as Bible-thumping idiots. They have labeled Muslims as terrorists. The liberals are not about freedom of religion. They're about freedom from religion. To all of you who do believe in God and worship Him, rise up. This is what the liberals do. They bash Christianity and those who practice it in order to get them to change to their tune. While the liberals and their biased media are soulless, godless, immoral beings, they're bringing large axes to chop down our tree of life. Fight back. Read between the lines, they write, and never forget who you are. And remember Romans 12:2. Don't be like these morons. Talk to you later.